All right, Kerry, so you have traveled, I think of probably all of our wonderful guests that will be here tonight, you have traveled the longest journey to get here. And why was it so important for you to make that journey and to be here tonight?
Kathy mentioned it when I had said that we were coming to America. Kathy and I are like kindred spirits. We've both lost our husbands. A lot of similarities between our families. It's nearly like she's my other half.
So, yeah, and this is the first time that you've met her in person?
It is indeed. We've been talking. It was Jack and Jane and Andreka that introduced us. I met them both in Washington with Julie. And they both said, you have to connect with Kathy. She's great. You'll love her. I think they told her the same. And we did, and it was just so easy. It was an easy connection. There's just some people that are supposed to come into your life, and Kathy was definitely somebody that was supposed to come into mine.
Well, she is special, but you, I can tell you're a very special person too, and I think you, what you're doing in your husband's memory is so special. So tell me about that. Tell me about why you started on this journey to raise awareness for pancreatic cancer.
Because in Northern Ireland there's nothing, in a nutshell. There really isn't. There's a little bit in England, but in Northern Ireland there's absolutely nothing. And yet so many people have been affected. 2 Christmases ago we did a street collection on Christmas Eve, believe it or believe it not. And yeah, there were some crazy enough people to stand outside rattling the boxes, and the amount of people that actually came up and said, oh my goodness, you're pancreatic cancer, we've never seen this before. My aunt died, my uncle died, my mum, my dad, my sister. It's just unbelievable, and nobody seems to really talk about it. There seems to be a big taboo. Yes, I mean, we've had fantastic support with fundraising from friends and family. And my community, we come from a small town, and time and time again they've come out and they've supported. And Noel was well known and he was well liked, and I guess it's something that everybody can do. When Noel got sick, everybody kept sort of saying, what can I do, what can I do? And I remember my friend Jen, she's from New Jersey, Saratoga Springs, she's living now, and she said to me, Kerry, what can I do for you? And I remember screaming at her down the phone saying, do something. So many times families go through heartache and they're faced with disease of any kind. And we all, it's a gut reaction, I think, to say, what can I do? But how many of us actually do something?
It's true. No, and you're certainly doing something, and this event and everything, I think that we've lost such a big part of our lives, but in a way, doing something like this, does it give you hope for that?
If I can save one family from going through the same heartache that we still go through, yeah.
I know. No, and it's so important. And so tell me about your husband, and tell me, when he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, did you know anything about pancreatic cancer?
Not a thing. It was the last thing that any of us thought about. He'd been going to his GP for 18 months. He was being treated for irritable bowel syndrome, and eventually he saw 3 different GPs and they all told him the same. Eventually he was sent for an ultrasound scan, I think basically to get rid of him, for them to say, look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you, go away. He went for the ultrasound scan and they found secondary cancer in his liver. So then they had to do a CT scan with the dye to find the primary, which was in the pancreas. he was told by a GP that neither of us had been to see before, that he had pancreatic cancer. He was then seen. About a month later, he was told that yes, it was terminal and he had 6 months to live. We have 2 small children. Ellie was 5 at the time, Nathan was 7. Noel had 3 other children from a previous marriage. And to say that it rocked our world and turned it upside down would be an understatement, as you know.
Yeah. And so, what was his attitude going through all of this? He obviously had to be somebody who inspired you to want to go on in his memory and his honor to help others. So I have a feeling he was probably pretty important.
He was amazing. Every time I look at my son, I see him. He was the most caring, genuine person that I've ever met, and I'm so blessed to have been loved by him. He loved me so completely. He was the kind of person that if he didn't have something nice to say about anybody, he wouldn't say it. He was just a really quiet, down-to-earth guy, enjoying, we were just a regular married couple, enjoying life, bringing up the kids. We struggled in the beginning when we first got together. It was hard, we've both been married before, and there were stepkids involved, and we struggled, but we got to a place where life was good. And he was an amazing person, an amazing husband, and he was a stay-at-home dad. He had served his country for 24 years. So he was a stay-at-home dad. I worked part-time, and the kids loved it. He's a fun dad. Before we had children, when we first got together, I would see, other kids in the neighbourhood that had grown up with his older daughters and son, and they'd all say, oh, Noel was the one that was in the grass playing rounders, and it's a bit like baseball, tennis, everything else with all the neighbourhood kids. He was the one. He was a big kid.
And he was how old?
When he died, he was 54.
So much too soon.
Yes.
And so what do you want people to know? Why should they support fundraising for pancreatic cancer, for research? Why is it so important?
Nothing's going to change. Nothing's changed in 40 years, and something has to change. I don't want to keep saying goodbye to the ones that I love. I don't want another family to go through what we've had to go through. I don't want anybody else to have to grow up or grow old without their loved ones. It's an awful disease, and we need more research. We need more funding, more awareness, public awareness, medical profession awareness. It all needs to happen. And without funding, it can't happen. I don't know what the statistics are here in the US, but in the UK, the survival rate for breast cancer is 87%. It's 3% for 5-year survival in the UK. In 2012, in Northern Ireland, there was 244 people diagnosed. In 2012, the same year, 243 people died. That's why things have to change.
Yeah. And so I guess, what is your mission now? What is your goal? What do you want to do now to make a difference?
Awareness and education. Awareness, I think, as I said, public and medical profession. And education, I've just started working with Pancreatic Cancer Action. The lady that founded it is Ali Stunt. She's a 7-year survivor, and she is a fantastic lady. And they have worked alongside with the Royal College of General Practitioners to, they have done an e-learning module for GPs that can help diagnose pancreatic cancer. And the medical profession from here can access that too. You don't have to be a member of the Royal College of GPs. You do have to register for their e-learning modules, but anybody can access it. And I haven't actually done it myself yet, but I believe that there's quite a few things on there that, you know, do make you think, and hopefully it will start to sort of register with people, especially the GPs, when they have a patient coming in with different symptoms. You know, they're dismissing cancer, they're looking at gallstones, they're looking at irritable bowel, and sometimes, you know, they need to look outside the box.
Well, I'm certain that with your dedication that will start to improve. And so thank you for sharing your story and for being here. Thank you.